Jacob here. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make up to 5.5 to 6 million alpha UEC every hour in Pyro via hauling. Let me explain. So specifically, we're going to be doing Red Wind contracts. You can see, of course, 36 million goes to show it's rather quite good. However, this is at experience rank. As you can see, I just made it clearly very recently. And I've done a couple of these just to see what they were like, and they were very good. So, these have been specifically tuned to go to 2 locations only, as per a previous video. So, location 3, which is the Nix gateway, Stanton, Stanton, Nix, Stanton, Nix, Nix, Nix. So, to do the maths quickly, that is just short of 7 million. And this is likely achievable in an hour and a half. Maybe an hour and 20, given how fast we could well be. So, I will be using the Gattac Raylan. So we'll pull that up just now, and we'll get going. So the idea of this video is to show you the full process. And so as a result, you can see a timer at the very top left there. So you get to see me go, of course, in and out of the ships. But I also get to explain more of the full process here. So, as you saw earlier, I have 8 contracts. 4 of them are member contracts, and 4 of them are experienced contracts. Now, there are 2 more contracts you can pick up. I have seen a 5th experienced contract before. Didn't see it in this scenario, but you could also top those up with more 532k contracts. So you could get this up to, so this is currently 7 million, 6.8 million, something along those lines. But it can be potentially more. Of course, we're going to go to Stanton first. And I also like to untrack the contracts so as the destinations and such don't get mixed up, because as you may well already know, when it comes to pickup contracts, the last location in the list is the only location that is actually relevant. And that's because StarCitizen has bugs. And that's okay. We'll take advantage. But it's been like this for a very long time. And this is basically why no one does the drop-off missions, because those do in fact work. And no one wants to drop off to 3 separate locations. And if you pick up so many contracts, you're going to be dropping off to every station in the system. It's just far too much time. The intention of this video is also to just show you what goes on, so I'll be quiet as well. It's quite difficult for me to say no to a alien quantum drive effect. It's just far more interesting. Now, I am actually short of the station. I do this on purpose in the event that someone's waiting for me 20 kilometers off the station. I'm sure that happens. I try and find a way of avoiding it. I mean, sure, someone could use a mantis or something like that, but that's a problem for them, as opposed to now. It's very important to get close. As you see, I'm about to be impounded, so you've got to get close relatively quick. The ship can be deceivingly horizontally interesting, so the best thing to do is definitely to be quite careful and be as close as possible. Aligning the cargo grid is quite important to have the best angle at the ship from the cargo deck. That should just about do it. If it isn't already obvious, I have sped up a number of bits of footage because we would be here a very long time. And now the cargo deck is currently up, so I am going to send it back down and then bring it back up with the cargo. Of course, I'd have to do that anyway, but even if the cargo was down, I would bring it up, put it back down, bring the cargo up after. And you'll see that take place in the next location. Yeah, we'll move the elevator. Yeah, not much cargo, so send that up. And you can see the cargo grid on the ship is in a good position. So we have relatively easy access to all of it. There's no sort of bending around corners so much. It's just a preference of mine, but I like to put the smaller bits of cargo last. And that's the last one. That was very quick indeed. However, there is a fair bit more cargo at the next one, I'm quite sure. As long as I can get close enough to the airlock. There we are. The Maglev technology in action. It is very good. It's most impressive. Yeah, the team did a good job on this ship. I might not be able to say the same for the Snubcraft, but hopefully to be improved. Very interesting industrial ship, that is. And now to set the location to Nix. Of course, I'm having a slightly interesting problem with that, which I didn't quite realise until shortly after. And that's the landing gear. And that's not the location I'm pointing at, and now I realise what's wrong. But I'll spare you the troubleshooting as is so common. At least we're in quantum now, finally. Of course, at this point, I am just looking at my quantum fuel and noticing it being rather low, so I'm quite sure I'll have to jump and get some more fuel when I get to the next gateway, but that's okay. It will add to our time, unfortunately, but I'm sure it won't be too bad. Again, with that in mind, you could potentially tailor these and optimize this even better than I have here. That looks more or less right. The animations on this ship are so good. Once again, the team did it solid on this. And of course, I forgot the airlock. There we are. So the lift is already down. But I decide to raise it, put it down again, then add the cargo, and then raise it again. See, the ship isn't in exactly the best location. The cargo or the ship is sort of leaning to the side slightly, which isn't too bad, but definitely isn't ideal. There are rather a lot of boxes here, and you can just see how fast they're going there. This is any just open cargo ship is really rather quite good, and it comes into its own element in this kind of scenario. For a moment, I wasn't sure if I put the cargo in exactly the right position there, but the spacing looks good. Again, always using the, or leaving the smaller cargo to last. Now, there's definitely a way, or there's definitely a certain way you should prioritize where you should put cargo, in my opinion. Where I'm loading now, the left-hand side, the left-hand side should be where the most important cargo is, and you'll see why when the cargo shields are raised. The cargo shields around the left and right-hand sides are superior to that of the bottom and the back. And you'll see why when the cargo shields are raised, as I do raise them quite soon. But yeah, definitely best thing to do is to most important cargo left and right, everything else in the middle. And that's the last bit of cargo. I decided at the end to just throw them anywhere. It doesn't really matter at that point. Now, what I wanted to do then was check the cargo contracts, see if there's anything else I could potentially pick up and take back to ruin here. But I decided I wanted to do that on a flat surface. So we'll just have a look at the offers. And there is likely none. Those are the drop-off locations, which you would end up dropping off at all 4 locations. Which, I mean, I guess you could very specifically tailor 4 locations into all of the contracts, but it takes a lot of time to tailor and tune the contracts like that. For those that haven't seen the previous video, I go into how you can tailor the contracts in a very specific way. So definitely have a look at the at that video that you'll see a card for at the top right. Also, for those that aren't at experience rank that want to do member contracts, that should also be where you should go first before this video. And it's time to get going. We will just deploy the cargo protection though first. So the animations are so good. But you can see now that the left and right hand side, or in this case the left, because that's all we can see. Oh, now we've moved it to the right. The cargo on the left and right is more protected, as opposed to the back and bottom, where you can actually directly see it from the back and the bottom. And there we go, setting the location to ruin, and then realizing that I don't actually have enough fuel together, so we'll just go and grab some fuel real quick. And having a stuck to alpha UEC repair, which doesn't seem to work. See, that only took away a couple of minutes, 3 or 4 minutes at most. So that is rather quite good. The quantum effect is so good. I do prefer it on the Banu ships myself. I say ships. Ship. It should be ships. Maybe it will be soon. Probably not. But yeah, the green does it for me. This is just too similar to the normal quantum effect for me. But it definitely adds. It's definitely interesting. And there we've arrived. Alright, unfortunately I did forget to come out of quantum beforehand like I typically do. But of course you would technically be coming in from a lot of different locations. Yeah, I've now just decided whether or not coming out of quantum earlier is actually worth it or not, but it feels like a good idea, so whatever. And now at the moment I'm struggling to figure out where the cargo elevators are, and now I've just found them. Now there's a ship at most of them, but I'm going to come around to this side, and there's an ironclad behind me. There was another ironclad on the other side as well, but the railing, you do see them rather a lot, the cargo elevators, which is all well and good. Making sure the location is ideal. Does look quite good. Yeah, that should be ideal, I'd like to think. No, apparently it wasn't, and there's someone flying around behind me. I was a little bit skeptical at this point, so decided to have a look and make sure the shields are okay, but I hadn't yet realised that the quantum drive was still on. And now I realised. It's very good that the shields are on. There's me trying to increase the shields, but kind of gave up in the end. Just checking my helmet is in fact on. Yeah, I hadn't actually taken it off at all in this video. And I did unfortunately leave the cargo protection on, so just turning that off. And now there what I did was I opened the airlock and then quickly shut it again from the inside and going straight out so as to not get to the cargo deck here and then forget to close the airlock. I'm just having a little play with the elevator, and this is just king when it comes to external freight on the ship, because you just grab it and pull down. Perhaps it's equally as easy to do this on, say, the hull C. The hull B, perhaps not so much, because it's all the way around the ship. Especially when it comes to the top of the ship, having a second person there perhaps to rotate the ship. But yeah, the railings just seems completely... Sure, the hull B is cheap, I expect, but I think the railing is king at the moment for this cargo size quantity. I mean, hull C has a little bit more, but I don't think it's worth it. The weapons on this are quite good. I think one thing definitely to upgrade on the railing is the quantum drive. I would like to think there's a quicker, faster one? That's something I'm going to have to research. If you just so happen to know already, please add so in the comments. I'd be very interested. And this should be the last box. If you've got this far in the video, well, clearly you like my content. I would very much appreciate it if you were to leave a like, subscribe if you feel so inclined, and hit that notify button. Really means a lot. It does a lot for the channel. You don't even know. And I'm just checking the cargo grid. The cargo versus the color of the cargo grid is can be a little similar, but perhaps that would be different with certain pens, and I've completely lost where the actual cargo elevator grid screen thing there is. I do find it rather quite funny that gravity all of a sudden works on a random metal platform. So we have all the cargo. That's a very positive sign, and we'll send that down. There we are, right, 36.5 million, and that would be roughly, it'd be just under 7 million, so I get to 300,000 maybe, a bit more. Yeah, there we go, 43,350,000. That's quite solid, as is the rep alongside that. But yeah, that's how that's done. Thank you ever so much for watching. If you've enjoyed what you've seen, let me know in the comments below, and do consider liking and subscribing if you want to see more. This is immeasurably helpful and goes a long way for the channel, so be sure to check back soon, and I'll see you in the verse.